And let's start this guide on New Orleans straight away from the French Quarter that you see here on my back. This is actually Jackson Square, remember this is the oldest cathedral into the United States, so plenty of places to experience and visit, and plenty of Spanish architecture. Hold on, this is called the French Quarter, so why is it Spanish? Well, it was established here by the French government back in the days, this area, but unfortunately it was a big fire which destroyed most of the city, and under the domination of the Spanish government back in the days was rebuilt, which explains why most of the buildings here have a Spanish architecture. And let me add, fabulous Spanish architecture, one of the most beautiful cities I've seen in my life, to be honest with you. But let's get deep into the French Quarter, or just the quarter as they call it, and see a little bit more. You'll be surprised because based on the street you go, can be a completely different experience. Well, the central street to the quarter is definitely Bourbon Street. That's where all of the action is, bars, pubs, live music, you name it. And there's a lot of noise around here, and it's only 5 o'clock. Just think when it becomes 8, 9, 10. There's a lot of things happening here, but be sure not to book around the Bourbon Street. You move one block up and you go in the sophisticated Royal Street, full of galleries and cool vibe and cafes and boutique restaurants. Absolutely stunning. It's stunning also the difference between Bourbon Street and Royal Street. And this is the western end side of the French Quarter. Here, the quarter is so much quieter, it's more residential, perfect place to stay, but very difficult to find an hotel or any kind of Airbnb or accommodation. I am here in the central business district. Certainly it's not that characteristic, or at least as characteristic as the quarter, but it's much quieter, much better value for money for the stay. And honestly, you're just 5 to 10 minutes to the quarter. So if you're into nightlife, restaurants, cafes, galleries, it's really a short walk. It's also a short walk to the warehouse district for art galleries, and then to the gardens area. So it's a good location, it's quieter, it's good value for money. You don't get as many restaurants or cafes, it's just a small selection of them. There is a good supermarket, so there is a good mix of things, but really no much character. In fact, you're just in a business district. I'll show you a little bit around so you can make your own decision, and then we jump to the next area. Let me show you what did I get this time in New Orleans, straight in the CBD, in the Central Business District. I thought it was a good choice and also good value for money. But let's go into it through the elevator, which is a little bit creepy and old style. And here I am into the warehouse district, which is sort of west of the financial district. This is a fantastic area for museums. As you see here on my back, this beautiful graffiti. I am in the parking area of the Contemporary Art Center, one of my favorite museums you can find here in New Orleans. Highly suggested to go there. $10 entrance ticket, so it's not too bad. Now, if you come to the warehouse for sleeping, good place to stay, definitely. Or even you can go a little bit west of the warehouse district, and that's where you find probably the cheapest places to sleep. The only issue with that is that to go to the French Quarter, you need to take a tram, and that's pretty much it. I'll show you a little bit around of the warehouse district so you have an understanding of how it is and if it's a cool place for you. If you're looking for a more laid-back but still with plenty of character, Marigny district probably is the place for you, because this is like a little French Quarter with the main street here, the Frenchmen Street, with plenty of bars and pubs. You can have nightlife, plenty of live music, and really good place to stay. But still quiet, once you are out of Frenchmen Street, obviously. During the day, there is nobody here. During the night, obviously, there are more people. Nice place, plenty of character like the French Quarter, but more laid back, more of a village style destination. I am here on the riverside of the warehouse, where there is the river walk and the outlet I was talking about. Beautiful view into the bridge. Fantastic location where you can have also dinner if you want, or lunch. You have a food court with very reasonable price food. Now I'm gonna close here this video, but if you look into my post that I will put the link in the video description, I've suggested another 2 areas that may work better actually for you. And you're gonna see there also more photos and suggestions on hotels, because wherever you go you want to have, I guess, a quiet stay, during the night. And even if you're in the French Quarter, honestly, you can find places that are very, very quiet. And that's pretty much it. I see you in next week's video.